Here's the 0-1. This is going to be a tough play. Bryant, the Cubs win the World Series! Bryant makes the play! It's over!
Seeing that play to this day is still as painful as it was back then. Hello everyone, my name is David D'Amico, and this is Sports Moments. So what is Sports Moments? Well, this is a quick show where we relive some of the best moments in sports history. We all know that there'll be great memories for some fans, and there'll be bad ones for others. Like the one I'm going to talk about today, Game 7 of the 2016 World Series from the perspective of an Indians fan. I remember it like it was yesterday. My Cleveland Indians had just let 2 chances to win a championship slip away, and it was a winner-take-all on a fall night in Cleveland, Ohio, in a stadium that felt like it was being played in Chicago. But let's first discuss how we got there. The 2016 World Series felt like it was something to be scripted from a movie. The 2 teams with the longest title droughts in the MLB clashing in the Fall Classic. It's something we all thought you couldn't script this stuff. Well, let's talk about how they got there. The Chicago Cubs finished that season with the best record in the majors at 103-58. Their fans felt like this was the year that their sorrow was over, and that they would see their team win it all for the first time in their lives. The Cleveland Indians had finished that season 94-67, good for the second best record in the American League. Both teams would win their first 2 rounds with relative ease, the Cubs defeating the Giants in 4 games in the NLDS, and then beating the Dodgers in 6 in the CS. The Cubs went on to their first World Series appearance since 1945. The Tribe would sweep the Red Sox in the ALDS, which, by the way, would end up being David Ortiz's last time we'd see him step up to the plate. And then they'd eliminate the Blue Jays in 5 to win their first AL pennant since 1997. And we Indians fans were just happy to see our team playing well. Prior to the start of that season, we had no expectations for it. But with the Cavaliers winning the NBA Finals in June of that year, and winning Cleveland its first title since 1964, we definitely felt something was magical was happening in the Forest City. By the way, that's a positive name we call Cleveland. None of those joke names, they don't exist. But we love our parks, our trees, and our forest, so we like to give ourselves a positive name, because we're a positive place. Okay, I'm getting off track. Let's now talk about the moment. After the Indians would win games 1, 3, and 5, we were ready to pop the champagne bottles and celebrate our first title in 68 years. We believed this was the year that Cleveland would change its name to Believeland, but we all knew that in the back of our minds, this wasn't over. After losing a tight Game 5 at Wrigley Field, we were still feeling confident in ourselves, and then we got embarrassed at home 9-3 in Game 6. After that, all of our confidence was gone, and we figured this was going to be another page in the book of Cleveland sports agony. And Game 7 was looking like just that. After David Ross, playing in his final game of his career, hit a home run to give the Cubs a 6-3 lead, Progressive Field erupted, or the Jake, as we still like to call it. Never in my life had I ever heard a stadium cheering so loud for an away team. But then came the bottom of the 8th, and the most unlikely thing would happen.
Six. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6. 6-6.
tie game. Rajai Davis, of all people, would hit a home run off of Aroldis Chapman, who had been virtually unhittable at that point. The whole city of Cleveland would erupt, and we thought there was going to be a tsunami from Lake Erie. Okay, maybe that's a little too exaggerating too much, but we Tribe fans knew that we had the momentum, and that we had the Cubs' backs against the walls. And then came the rain. In my heart, I feel this is why we lost the series. This allowed the Cubs to get the momentum, get their groove back, and they would score 2 runs off of Bryan Shaw in the top of the 10th. The Indians would get a run back from an RBI single from Rajai Davis, but it was too late. The Cubs had won their first title in 108 years, and the Indians would now have the longest drought in the MLB. Even though we Indians fans were still feeling the sting of being the team that gave the Cubs their first World Series since 1908, we knew in our hearts that we would be back. And the 2017 season was looking just like that. It was finally going to be ours. After finishing the season 102-60, which included a 22-game winning streak from late August to mid-September, we took the top spot in the American League. The Tribe quickly got out to a 2-0 lead on the Yankees in the ALDS, but history had a way of repeating itself, as they once again blew a 2-game lead and lost 3 in a row and were eliminated. Since then, the Tribe hadn't had the same kind of success that they had in those 2 seasons. And as for the Cubs, they would get back to the NLCS in 2017, but they'd lose in 5 games to the Dodgers, and they haven't really had the same kind of success as they did since 16 and 17, and they even fired manager Joe Maddon after 2019. Well, now let's conclude this thing up. With the MLB currently on suspension right now, thanks to obvious reasons that I will not discuss on this show, but there's talk about having a shortened season with all the games being played in Arizona. It'll be interesting to see how the teams fare if that ends up happening. But speaking realistically, I feel that the Indians' window to win a title soon has shut, and Francona's style of managing has kind of worn thin on the team. But in baseball, anything is possible, as proven by the 2019 Washington Nationals. And as for the Cubs, I think they're in rebuild mode, but it'll be interesting to see the job David Ross does as manager. Anyways, here's hoping we get some kind of baseball season. Thank you for watching, and if you have a sports moment that you want me to talk about, comment below, or email me at sportsmoments815@gmail.com. I'm leaving it right here so you can pause the video and get that email address. Why 815? Well, sportsmoments@gmail.com was taken, and I needed something to remember, and my birthday is August 15th, so yeah, needed something I could remember. Anyways, I'm David D'Amico, and this is Sports Moments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next moment.